random name.
Yeah, why don't you just work on this?
We
and
need
give
to
this
name our
us?
sweet fans who have been with us for so long.
Wait, what was your
Ages-
idea?
Oh, Ages was Allie and Slayjayers.
Slay is on his way out.
I think
on
it
its
is
way
too.
out.
Lit is gone.
It's over?
I
So
need to
like
stop saying
Alit
that.
and A-Shug.
Hey, what's up you guys? Yes, welcome back to another creepy video. Now, I don't know about you, but I think about death a lot. When is it gonna happen? How is it gonna happen? Will I see it coming? Death is all around us, and it's inevitable. Think about it this way. Since you started watching this video, several people around the world have died. Every single day, over 150,000 people die around the world. But today we're not going to be talking about actual death. We're going to be talking about what happens to the bodies afterward. Now, obviously, some people are buried, some people are cremated, but some people's bodies get left in very strange places. I mean, I'm talking suitcases, trash cans. I mean, there's even been cases where people are being buried, like at the cemetery, and during the funeral, a body part from somebody else in the grave next to them will just pop out. I don't even know if I explained that right, so just watch the clip.
Sandra Butler says she didn't think losing her 85-year-old father, Cleveland Butler, could be any more traumatizing than when it was on the day he died of a stroke. But then a week ago, as she and her family from Brooklyn went to bury him in this picturesque New Jersey cemetery, it got worse. Something invaded the burial, coming out of the dirt of his grave. As you see in this photo taken by a relative, it's a bare leg on another corpse.
All right, so let's start with death vehicles. So as I'm sure you already know, there are vehicles that have to transport dead bodies to and from different places. And these are just normal vehicles. Like, for example, mostly they're just big white vans. And just like any other vehicle, sometimes there's malfunctions. And sometimes those malfunctions lead to this.
Some residents say they thought it was a joke, but the coroner's office says it was a problem with the van's back door.
Yeah, in 2014, a coroner van accidentally dropped a body in the middle of a busy street in Philadelphia. Cars literally had to swerve out of the way to not hit a dead body.
Monroe County Coroner Bob Allen says there's no state regulation on how to transport a body, just that it has to be done in a respectful and secure way.
Now, not shockingly, this happens quite a lot. I mean, it happened just a year ago in the middle of a busy street in Cuba. And if you do a deep dive into the internet, you can find a whole bunch of pictures of bodies that fell off of vans. Now, this happens so much that it's literally been parodied in like movies and TV shows all the time. Now, luckily, in most cases, it doesn't end that badly. The driver realizes it, they turn around, they get the body, they put it back in the van. But sometimes, bodies get run over. And, sorry, I just thought about it. It's a mess. All right, now speaking of bodies being left in weird places, this next one is crazy. Now, I'm just gonna start by saying, I love Walmart. Not as much as Target, but I do have love for her. But this story makes me a little scared of her because there was a body left in a Walmart parking lot for weeks.
The Spokane County Sheriff's Office tells me they believe the body of the woman that was found in this parking lot earlier today is a woman that has been missing in Spokane County for at least the last several weeks. Earlier this afternoon, this is what the scene looked like.
How? Literally, how can a body be left in a busy parking lot for weeks? And then I did more research, and no, it was months. That's right, the body was left there for 3 months before somebody discovered it. So apparently there was a woman who unfortunately had a drug overdose and died inside of her car. Now, she was parked on the outskirts of the parking lot. She had her sunshades down, so I guess this one-time thing kind of makes sense. But it happens a lot.
Officials made a horrific discovery overnight in a Walmart parking lot in San Antonio, Texas. 8 people dead in the back of a sweltering truck.
Yeah, 8 more people dead. And that's just the beginning. Here's another one.
News update, investigators working to identify a man whose body was found in a South Tulsa Walmart parking lot. When officers arrived, they found the body inside badly decomposed.
Now, that one turned out to be a guy that was living in his car, who then died in his car and was there for a month. And weirdly, a few years earlier, something very similar like that happened in Santa Fe.
Santa Fe County Sheriff's deputies found that Marine 48-year-old Ron Stark dead and naked inside a car at the Walmart parking lot.
There was signs that the body had been there for an extended period of time.
Police say as long as a month.
But even creepier, in another Walmart parking lot in Kansas City, there was a man and woman found dead together inside of their SUV. Then there's another story of a body that was found behind a Walmart in New Mexico. and it was in horrific condition.
We can confirm that the individual was missing their head and other parts of their body.
Police say the man was decapitated and missing his genitalia.
And if that's not enough for you, here's another one. Now I know you're thinking, Shane, all of these happened in parking lots, so it's not technically Walmart. Oh, well, I forgot to tell you about this one.
A woman's body is found inside a Walmart bathroom.
And if you're wondering, she was in that bathroom for 3 days. Employees literally put an out of order sign on the stall because it was locked and they just thought maybe it was broken. They had no idea that there was a decomposing body inside on the toilet. Now listen, Walmart, I'm not trying to drag you, but what? Either way, I'm not trying to make jokes, and all respect to the families of any of these Walmart victims, but oh my God. How is this happening? Okay, now this next thing we're going to talk about is almost creepier than Walmart bodies, because we're going to be talking about the remains of a dead person that are put inside of teddy bears.
Hi, my name is Teddy Ruxpin.
Yeah, a lot of people cremate a body, right? And turn it into ashes and choose to put them inside of a teddy bear. Now, first of all, that sounds like the plot of a very scary movie that I would love to see, but it is very real. I mean, listen, the idea of scattering somebody's ashes in a place that they used to love is really sweet, and I love that. For me personally, I would like my ashes scattered just all over a Taco Bell. And some people even go farther and they like turn ashes into jewelry, like making diamond necklaces out of a person's body. But then it takes it just like one step too far with this teddy bear situation. Now listen, I don't want to make fun of this. I think it's sweet, but it gives me the chills. Now here's a kind of scary side effect of this whole situation. Sometimes these teddy bears end up at thrift stores and then people buy them and then later on realize that there's a dead body inside. That's right, a 15-year-old boy named Joshua Scott and his mom discovered that one of the bears they bought at a thrift store for their little sister had human remains inside of it. And now they're in the process of trying to find out who those remains belong to so they can give it back. And then recently in Oregon, a mother lost her teddy bear that had her daughter inside of it.
I mean, it's a piece of my daughter that's in there. I don't know where it's at.
Now she's been going door to door, even checking dumpsters for the missing bear, and she posted a plea on Facebook as well.
But luckily, a few weeks later, they found it and they got the bear back. But this happens surprisingly a lot. I mean, this gas station owner found one of the bears that had ashes inside of it at his gas station.
Inside the tummy of this teddy is this, a gold container holding what appears to be ashes.
It looks like a little urn, like it's a shiny little gold-plated urn.
So I guess the moral of that story is if you find a teddy bear anywhere, just like investigate before you give it to your child. Okay, so that was kind of funny and lighthearted, but this next story is not. Back in 2013, something happened to a high school boy named Kendrick Johnson, and it all started with him losing a shoe.
Come to Lowndes High School now. There's a dead body out here.
Okay, where at, sir?
Lowndes High School in the old gym.
Now the body in question was dead, and it was the body of Kendrick. He jumped into the huge fitness mat to get his shoe, and then he got stuck, and he was unable to breathe, and then he died.
Lowndes County, Georgia investigators say Kendrick's death was a tragic accident, that he climbed onto these rolled gym mats to reach for this shoe at the center of one mat, slipped, got stuck upside down, and died. County officials say the blood in this photo spilled after Kendrick's heart had stopped pumping hours after he had died.
Now, after several months of them fighting and going back and forth, Kendrick's parents were certain that this was a murder.
There's enough evidence to show that Kendrick was murdered.
So they exhumed the body from the grave so that they could do another autopsy. Now, this is where it gets really dark. During the second autopsy, they discovered that all of Kendrick's organs had been taken out and replaced with newspaper.
So what exactly did the Harrington Funeral Home do with Kendrick's organs? And why was he stuffed with old newspaper?
Now, the funeral home is stating that Kendrick's organs were destroyed by natural causes, so they just discarded them. And this is something that does happen, and funeral homes tend to stuff bodies full of rice or cotton or things to kind of fill the body out. But Kendrick's family still believes that there's something going on and that their son was murdered. Now, either way, one thing is for sure, this was tragic and awful, and Kendrick will be missed, and hopefully soon the family will get some closure. Okay, now this next thing I have talked about before, but it was like 2 years ago, I think. So a lot of you guys might not know about it, so I'm gonna go even more in depth. This is the mystery of the British Columbia feet.
This is just the latest twist in this bizarre mystery, one that forensic experts have been unable to explain. The other 3 feet were found on Gabriola Island, Jedediah Island, and on nearby Valdez Island.
Now, early on, it started with just a few feet, but as the years go on, it's more.
Well, hikers in British Columbia, Canada, found a dismembered foot inside of a running shoe.
Tonight, with a mystery unfolding on a BC beach, a human foot has once again been discovered.
13 feet. 13 separate feet have washed up on shore. Now, as the mystery continues and as feet keep appearing, people are making a lot of theories. Most people believe, because a lot of the feet are inside running shoes, that it is a serial killer who is targeting people who are running across the bridge.
We have to be aware that these could be homicide victims.
While the fear of a foot-severing killer grips the public imagination, investigators turn to science.
But as for now, the police have said it is not a serial killer and that there's no evidence for that.
If a body has been dismembered with a blade, it will leave telltale marks on the bone. There are no blade marks.
Now, police believe it's because of accidents or suicides where people are jumping into the water or falling into the water and then their bodies dissolve and the shoe rises to the surface. And supposedly this happens worldwide.
It does happen on other coastlines around the world. It's not unusual.
So we might never know exactly what happened, but either way, before you get into the water, check for shoes. Alright, now this next thing involves something that's very close to my heart, and that's a Jeep. Alright, so in 2009, a woman went missing in Detroit. Now the woman was kind of reclusive, so nobody was really looking for her or realized she was gone for a while. They just knew that her house was abandoned and her car was gone.
It's been years since anyone living on Savannah saw the woman who owns this home. When's the last time anybody saw her?
About 6 years ago.
Well, then the situation took a very scary turn.
But today, neighbors here in Pontiac found out the owner has been here the whole time, inside the garage, in the back seat of her Jeep, dead.
Now, nobody really questioned where she went when she was missing because she was always traveling. People just assumed she was gone.
She was probably there for a couple days, then she'd leave for a week, then she'd come back, then she'd leave for a month, then she'd come back.
But for years and years, all she was doing was slowly decaying in her garage.
The owner has been dead for so many years that our sources say her body was mummified.
That's right. Her body was so decayed, it had been left in the garage for so long that they couldn't even do an autopsy. So her cause of death is still a mystery. So it makes you think, did somebody kill her? Did they know that nobody would be looking for her? Did they target her specifically because of that? Because they knew they could get away with it? Or did she just have a heart attack and die? Either way, if there's somebody in your neighborhood who kind of keeps to themselves, but you don't see them for I don't know, a week, please look into it, knock on their door, because they might be rotting in their car. Well, there you guys go. Hopefully you enjoyed that creepy video. And once again, I just want to say no disrespect meant to the families or anybody that was involved in any of these awful situations. I just love talking about dark and twisted stuff, and I know you guys like it too. Alright, you guys, I'm gonna go. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you want more creepy videos. Also, make sure to subscribe to my channel right down below. Hit the notification bell because I make new videos every day. And if you want to see my last couple creepy videos, I've done ones about the scariest accounts on Instagram and a video about fangirls who murdered. I'll put a link to both of those in a playlist right at the top of the description below. So remember, whether you're on the road or in a Walmart parking lot or even in your own neighborhood, keep your eyes open because you never know when a dead body will appear.